Many will probably think that that's a very explosive and strange title. Most people have probably forgotten about this attack altogether. At least, most people that aren't in the same circles that I am. However, everyone probably remembers Kyle Rittenhouse, a non-white who killed, not murdered, but killed 3 non-whites. The media spun this into being a black issue. To this day, there are still plenty of blacks that believe that Kyle Rittenhouse was a white supremacist that murdered 3 black people. Black Lives Matter activists that were just doing, essentially, I suppose you can say, their Wakanda duty to be out there and destroy the white middle class. Now, of course, Kyle Rittenhouse is not white, he's Hispanic. I don't even believe he's half white, I believe he's full Hispanic. But even then, fairly certain it would be mental gymnastics to blame the shootings on his half-white part, even if that exists. The 3 people that he shot, killed but not murdered, were Jews, and therefore they are non-white. They share the Canaanite blood that Europeans simply just do not have. They may have interbred with whites at some point and created the Ashkenazim, but that's a whole different talk. Let's not get into that just now. Of course, the 3 people that he shot were, let's just say, less than law-abiding citizens. In December of 2021, a black supremacist, anti-white, let's just call him nigger, decided to murder 6 white children in what could only be called a black supremacist attack. Many suspected that this could be in retaliation to Kyle Rittenhouse essentially going off scot-free and his case being rendered self-defense. There's very little proof to back this up, but since when did you need proof to come to a conclusion? You really don't need that when it comes to modern media, modern journalism, modern academia. You don't really need proof or evidence or statistics. What you just need is to say it enough times so that people will believe it. So let's say it. It was a black supremacist that killed white children in retaliation for a case that had nothing to do with blacks or black issues, but it was being spun by the media in order to make it seem as if it was a black issue. A white man killing black, probably teenagers, didn't do nothings. Again, here we see a clear example of the, I don't know if it's 14 or 15%, 13%, whatever it may be these days, being wielded as an axe by the 2%. Against the, what is the white population of America, 30% by now? Now, the media did not exactly applaud the efforts of this black supremacists, or black supremacist, just singular. But they most certainly did not demonize him either, as they would have a white person. As we can see right now in, what was that? Whatever black state, that the very strange case of the shooting now where some quote-unquote white supremacist killed 10 people, a number of them being white. Of course, there's a lot of strange things about that case as well, how he labeled himself a communist for most of his life and didn't really seem to be whole into the whole white nationalist thing right until the very end. But let's not stray too far from the original point of the video here. The media essentially stated that the reason why these white children were killed was because of white supremacy, and essentially it was just a new version of the terrorism is part and parcel of living in a big city meme, but this time it was in America, and of course it was interracial crime, black on white as it usually is. Of course, a lot of people called out the media Jews for saying that it's part and parcel, and the media responded with naming that a white supremacist attack. Not really to the surprise of many people. Barely anyone has really heard about this attack, sure, and the people that had, as we can see by, I know, Wikipedia articles, oh my lord, well, I mean, those are the first ones that pop up when you search for it, and as you can see, Kyle Rittenhouse's name and image is plastered all around the place. Not really saying that he's a Hispanic gentleman, just his face, which is certainly white passing, and his name, which Rittenhouse, sure, you could argue if you don't really know much about race and such, then sure, that's a white name. Couple those two together and you will probably think to yourself that you're looking at a white supremacist. However, when you look at the terror attack, which was actually by a black supremacist who wrote lovely tweets such as, "We should beat old white people," trying to herd in a black age, which I'm sure would work very well due to their extremely high IQ. Names and face is really nowhere to be seen unless you dig a little bit deeper. Now, of course, you can argue that this is because he hasn't been handed his sentence yet, but Rittenhouse was not charged at all. He was let off scot-free with self-defense. So if anything, shouldn't his name and face be removed? And it just being chalked up to a shooting, a self-defense situation, if you will? If you're feeling a little funny about it, his name and face is all over the place. Still being drummed up to this day, whereas this black supremacist nigger, his face is nowhere to be seen. The conclusion should be simple. The blacks make it impossible to live together in harmony. Go make Wakanda. Leave. I used to believe we could create some sort of united front against the common enemy, which there most certainly still is, the Jew. But I don't think that's possible anymore. When they target kids in terror attacks, kill 6 of them, and the media, they don't even care about anything at all. I think it's about time to start buying, purchasing, and learning how to utilize firearms. Now, I'm not saying that you should go on a mass shooting killing black people. I'm actually saying the opposite. Lone wolf attacks will accomplish nothing. However, at some point, someone has to take a bullet. And I don't know if I'm crazy for saying that it shouldn't be white children. But maybe I am.